Hello, and we are the Simmons, sis. I guess you could call it that, or the Simmons. I don't know. Hey, but
Don't know your name.
anyway, so we decided to do a Q&A questionnaire on, questions that we come to believe that people might, want to know about us. One of the things that we discussed is that, we did kind of open up our lives to the Facebook world or to our friends and kind of friends or whatever the case on social media. And so I'm sure you guys have some questions. Some of you guys didn't even know that we were in a relationship, and then as you know, pop up, and we're getting married. And so and our closer, the people who are closest to us, they knew. And so believe it or not, we actually been talking and for about a year. And so it's it wasn't an overnight thing or whatever the case.
That's the main
um
right.
yeah, yeah. And so and so yeah, we're just gonna do a Q&A with each other, to kind of answer some of the questions that you guys might be curious about like how we met and how did it come to this beautiful sacred thing called marriage. And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dive right into it. And yeah. So first question, and I'm gonna direct it towards Shireen. Oh, by the way, I'm Dean or Cedric, or you could call me CD as well, which stands for Cedric Dean. Yeah, most of my friends know and family know that I go by both names. And so that's why I just do the CD thing sometimes, just so that I don't know. Sometimes it just makes sense to me. I don't know. Yeah, but you can call me CD, or nobody calls me CD, by the way. But they either call me Dean or Cedric. But if you want to call me CD, you can. You probably won't get an answer because I'm not used to that name. It's only what I put on like my social media or other things. But eventually, if enough people keep calling me that, then I'm going to end up answering. So
I'll start CD.
otherwise, call me Dean or Central. Oh, that works too.
Okay. Okay,
All right.
CD.
So anyway, we're going to ask the first question. The first question is, how did we meet? Shireen, how did we meet?
Hi everyone. As you don't know, I'm Shireen. We met through this dating site. Was an app, not a site per se, because you can't just go on it. It has to be downloaded on your phone. It's called Adventist Dating.
So is that all we get? You want to tell us a little bit about Adventist dating?
You said how we met. You
Wow.
didn't say I should go in details.
So this has been an issue that we've been having since we've been dating and talking. She takes everything like totally literal. So like my facetiousness or my sarcasm or all that, like 2 or 3 days go by before everything get realized. Or what. So yeah, baby.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean to say is like give us a little bit more of about this dating site. Like,
oh,
what?
you mean how I come by to join the dating site?
Yeah,
You should have said so, honey.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I had pounced upon the app on Facebook. I was a part of this group called Adventist Singles. Well, it still pops up on my phone now and then. And so I was told by friends, church members, that I need to put myself more out there and stop behaving as if I am taken, because I dress as if I'm married. I used to dress as if I'm still.
What does it mean to dress as if you're married? What does that mean?
I am. Well, guys, I'm not bashing anyone, but for me, I'm fully covered. I'm more dressed more for
Modesty.
Yes.
Okay. So, for those who don't know, I mean, most people who know me, they know we're Christians. We're Seventh-day Adventist Christians, and so when she say SDA, that's what it stands for, Seventh Day Adventist. And so, and so the dating site that we got on was particularly for people of that faith. Like if you were a Baptist and you wanted to date someone who was Baptist, then that's what you would go to, or Catholic and you wanted to date a Catholic, that's what you would go to. So the thing, why the SDA dating site, other than like Christian Mingle or other Christian dating sites, is because I believe, and I believe Shireen believed, that it was important that, as far as doctrine goes, that,
Yes.
we believed the exact same thing. And so when it came to, our beliefs, and in the Bible and that sort of thing, we really wanted to, be with someone who shared the same types of beliefs that we did. So,
Yes.
all right. So
I will continue.
go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. Anyway, I joined the group, the app. I downloaded it to my phone. And am I supposed to go in depth to tell them exactly what?
No, you don't have to. I mean, just
as CD says here,
I still got to get used to it.
it's an app / site now. Once you download it, it becomes a site for Adventists, young and I don't want to say
immature.
Yeah, because they gave an age group from 0 to 99.
Yeah. That's going to be part of my story. Yeah, so, she's kind of jumping the gun for it. So
no.
Okay.
So
I don't
it's
think it
for
goes to 0, but yeah.
Yeah, it's for. I think it starts at the age
18.
Yes.
18 to 99, basically.
And for you to get in this site, you have to know a few questions that would be regular ask
contingent on our doctrine that we believe
as
about,
Adventist,
like the 7-day Sabbath and that sort of thing, so that basically not just anyone could just go in and pretend to be a 7-day Adventist.
Yes.
Because we have certain doctrinal points that we believe in that we believe is totally biblical as well, and usually only 7-day Adventists know, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's basically contingent for 7-day Adventists. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to direct my first question to you, CD.
Okay.
Why did you join or choose this dating site?
Ain't that the one I just directed towards you?
No.
I could have sworn I could.
Well,
okay.
if so, I'll direct it back to you.
Okay. All right. Well, so why did I choose this dating site? It's because I really wanted to be with. Well, for one, let me start back a little bit further. I decided to. I never been on a dating site before, and so I decided that I'll give it a try. I have some friends who who joined the dating site, and they ended up getting married.
The same one? The same Adventist one?
What same Adventist one?
Your friends, did they join the same one?
I don't know if it was this one or not, but I know I don't even know if it was an Adventist dating site, but they were both Adventists. They both grew up Adventists, and they ended up meeting up on this dating site. I believe it was a Christian one. I know it was a Christian one, whether it was Adventist or not. But and they got married, and they've been married for going on 10 years now, and happily married. And so, I know that it works just by seeing a couple of my friends, and so I was dating a few, I dated a couple of girls within my church region or whatever the case. And the relationships, although, they were great women and still are great women, it didn't really work out for me. So I decided that I'll give the dating site a try. And so I did.
Cool. Well, you did not direct that question to me, but I'll direct it to myself.
Okay.
I just joined that site for friendship.
For friendship?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not... This is me. I'm very shy, as you know, CD. I did not join thinking that I would have met someone. And to be honest, to the back of my mind, I really wanted to meet someone. But at first, it wasn't like that. I wanted to get to know different Seventh-day Adventists. Because even though we all are Seventh-day Adventists, sometimes we have different beliefs about stuff, even about the Bible and so forth. But my main aim was to find a friend that I could talk to, because I'm a loner, guys. I like to be by myself. So I really wanted someone that I could chat with in spare times and so forth. But something else happened differently. The Holy Spirit moved.
I guess so. And praise the Lord to that. So, kind of to piggyback off where she was going, but yeah, I was looking for someone to date and eventually marry. Yeah, I didn't want to be alone anymore, and like I said, the dating world within the people that I was meeting, it just wasn't working out, and so I thought that I'd give this a try to see, what may fall, so yeah. What's the next question?
So, since we're going to go in depth, we have set the basic rules, we have set the pace, how we met, and so forth. What was your expectation when you joined the site? You just said that, right?
Yeah, and I even put that in as my profile, is that, because they actually ask you in your profile, are you looking to date? Are you looking to marry? Are you just looking for friends? And I actually met a couple of friends on there that just wanted friends, and and they're honestly still my friends now, and so I mean, it is a good place where you can meet friends that are just like-minded and just real cool to talk to, because one of the people that I know from there, man, she's totally hilarious, and she's like, she's one of my friends, and Shireen got to meet her and stuff like that. And but and then a couple of others, they're just real cool spiritual people, and so yeah, it is a cool site for that, for meeting friends and that sort of thing. What was the question again, baby? I go on my tangents, and I just lose sight.
Well, the next question: how long were you on this dating site for?
Before I met you?
Yeah.
I would say probably about three weeks to a month. I want to say closer to 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know. I really wasn't paying much attention.
Oh, I'm the type of person more detailed, so I wasn't on it for 3 weeks when I met you.
For 3 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Were there other guys that you met, possibly?
Oh, yes. There were 3 more.
Okay.
But nothing major happened, even though I texted them. One of them in particular, we spoke a few times, but nothing serious, because as a Seventh Adventist, I look for a certain thing in a guy. I don't like for the first move I'm supposed to give my number, or the next move I'm supposed to exchange pictures, because nothing's wrong with that, because we are heading towards something. I don't do that. I tend to try and know the person background, what are the person's like, and then for the last part of it, I tend to know how spiritually connected you are with God. I don't just put out their spirituality first when I'm trying to meet someone, because that can be a very turn off for that person, because everyone is not at the same level. Mm-hmm. But that one guy was like that first. Then the other 2 weren't talking to me, including CD.
Well, since we're talking about that, so what was it like? Like, okay, so you texted me first.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm the pursuer.
So you were kind of like the pursuer in a sense. And
yes.
So tell us about that. What about my profile drew you to me and to, hit me up and that sort of thing?
I'm going to be honest, which we are supposed to be honest. I didn't read your profile until after I texted you.
Interesting.
No, I didn't. You know how I like not to proofread and don't read? Uh-huh. The other 2 guys, I did read their profile. They were open for outside relationship. But his picture on
outside relationship? What's that?
Meaning outside of the state.
Oh, outside of Jamaica?
No, outside. They're living in the United States. I'm living in Jamaica. So they were open to other relationships in terms of...
In other countries?
Yes.
Not states, countries.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. Outside of the region of America, they were open to that. Okay.
So, afterwards, I went... A matter of fact, I was home and things were going more like chaos for me. And I was tired of being by myself, even though family members would come and visit, but that wouldn't fill that gap inside. I was being tormented, I would say, by loneliness. And the app popped up on my phone through Facebook. And I went ahead and I downloaded it. But with this site, it gives you a certain amount of persons to talk with, and then it gives you a certain amount of texts to send. So I choose 3 guys. I choose CD. I don't remember the other 2 guys' name. And after texting them, he, along with one other guy, they didn't answer. But I went to my neighbor's house because I didn't have Wi-Fi at the time. I only had data. So when I texted him, he was like embarrassing to me because I noticed he was online and you didn't text back. And then the next day, I was like, Lord, I'm not going to go. And I prayed and I prayed. I was like, Lord, this one looks special, to be honest. And his guys, if you see his profile, do you still have that app?
I don't think so. No.
If you see the picture on his profile, anyone would want to text him. He has this lamb look.
Lamb look.
Yes, you have this
interesting
look. As if you're, I don't know what to say. But you have this look for real.
I don't even remember which picture I put up on there.
Okay, I remember vividly. But
okay.
He has this calm look, to be honest, that you'd want to have someone like that in your life. And then it was after I went back, I read his profile. I was like, oh, I'm not fit for this guy because he doesn't want to have any relationship with anyone outside of the state. So I'm not qualified. And then when you look on his profile, guys, if you're not a university student, you would not want to text him because his profile has all these criteria being listed. It's like you have to measure up yourself and wonder if, am I going to make it? Do I have any chance? But you know what? This is Shireen. I prayed for him. I went on my knees for him. And I told God, I said, Lord, I don't know much about him, but I like him. And it seems as if he's the right person. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I'm telling you, this is like in a day. Now, my cousin came over and I didn't want to tell her about CD that I was praying for him. Because she'd be like, girl, you're desperate? Because you don't know this guy. This guy doesn't know you. He doesn't answer you. Why are you praying for him? So I kept this as a secret. And the next morning I went. I didn't want to go to my neighbor's house. And I went. And when I went, I noticed that there's a little thing in the box. One message. And I was like, Lord, please let it be him. And when I looked, guys, it was CD. Anybody? So he sent me a message to say hi. And I sent him 2 messages before. He didn't look at me because I wasn't qualified. I didn't have the criteria. I wasn't living in the state. I'm still not living in the state. I'm Jamaican. So he did not answer me. But you know what, guys? There is power in prayer. Don't be afraid to tell or to talk to someone. If you like them, let them know. Because sometimes because of pride, we can lose that person that God has for us. Because it's a thing in the world where a woman seems not to be the one to talk to the guy.
To make the first move.
Yeah, it's more of a man thing. Oh, he's going to come and talk to me.
Well, I mean, you're on a dating site. And so, like, I never even seen your profile, for one. And I'm going to explain my point, why I didn't answer her and all. It wasn't because I'm stuck up or bougie in the American sense, But there were reasons why I didn't see her profile and why I didn't respond to her.
Tell us.
And so, but like, you're actually on a dating site, and the dating site, to be honest with you, it has everything to do with pursuing. And so, like, you mentioned earlier though that you were just looking for friendship. So
Yes.
before I explain my point, what made you transition from wanting friendship to wanting relationship when it came down to me?
Based on my past relationships, I have tried friendship first. And the persons that I tried the friendship with, they were Seventh Adventists, but they weren't walking in the way that God wants us to walk.
Okay.
And with that, it had led me to do stuff that, wasn't of the will of God.
Okay.
So for me to pursue friendship with someone on this dating site, I have to be treading on like thin ground. God would have to be leading me to want to start friendship with someone. I can't just start a relationship with a guy on a dating site and I don't know much about. I have to start somewhere. So friendship would have been my first ground to start on.
I know, but when we started talking,
It was after, no, it was when I went back home the second day. Because
okay,
remember the first day I texted you didn't look.
okay,
So the second day when I went back home and I was praying, well, I said, well, God, I'm tired of this. I need someone. I'm tired of being lonely.
so that was when you changed your mind,
And this
from
was when
friendship to,
I turned my mind.
that's the question. That's the answer I was looking for. And all right, and another question. So it seemed that you're pursuing that all three of us guys were all American. Is there a reason behind that?
On this site, it's mostly persons outside of Jamaica.
Okay.
And for me, it doesn't matter where you're from.
All right.
No.
So it was just kind of like just for lack of better words, just happenstance that all three of us were Jamaican. I mean, not Jamaican, but American.
And as I said before, the list that they gave me, they weren't Jamaicans.
Okay.
They weren't.
So on a site, right? If you're not paying for a membership, you have very limited resources to the people that you're going to interact with and that sort of thing.
That's why I didn't see
And
them.
so they give you like a list per day, I think, because I actually ended up like
yes, they give you a few per day.
yeah, I ended up paying the premium and stuff like that so that I can have more access
did?
to. Oh yeah, of course.
Wow.
Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm going all out,
Oh,
and so
that's true.
yeah.
That's you.
So I mean, I want to get the best of it, and so yeah. So I was actually paying the premium, but most of the girls that I met on there that I talked to, none of them paid the premium.
I didn't.
They were just doing it. They was going about it the freeway, and then if they happen to see somebody that they liked or that they were interested in, then they would give them their WhatsApp information and or their Messenger from Facebook information,
Yes.
or maybe some other social media type thing. Those are the only two that I do, so that's how I know. And so yeah, that's kind of like the gist of the website. So I'm only just like I said, we're asking questions that to each other that we believe that other people want to know. And so and to be honest with you, none of this is scripted. So so yeah, we're just going off of our heads and stuff like that. And actually she wrote a few questions down just so she won't forget them, and otherwise everything is just basically and if you guys have any questions for us, then feel free to ask them,
you do.
and we'll be happy to answer. So
Yes. No, it's my turn to ask you.
oh, okay, what was the question?
Yeah. Why didn't you answer my text?
Okay, so all right, I wasn't being a jerk for one. When I first got on the site, I was open to basically meeting anyone anywhere, and so like there were women from South America, from Mexico, from Canada, from Alaska, from Africa, from the islands, and the Caribbean, wherever, and I was finding that a lot of the women, especially like from like Nigeria and some from like some of the Caribbean islands and stuff like that, they just had ridiculous profiles. Like they were saying like, I'm looking for somebody 18 through 99. I'm like, are you serious? Like, dude, I couldn't take it serious, and they were like blowing my thing up, and I wasn't rude to any of them, but after a while I just kind of just I limited the area that I wanted to meet people so that it could kind of weed out a lot of the confusion and all that kind of stuff. Plus, it's a lot easier to meet someone who actually lives in the States than it is to somebody who doesn't, And so that's basically where I limited my interests at. And so when I limited it, I honestly thought that I would be able to, I wouldn't be able to be reached by people outside of the United States. And so a couple of them still got in. I don't know how, but
The Holy Spirit. That's how it works.
The Holy Spirit. That's what she just said. The Holy Spirit. But hey, I guess I can't knock it. But when she said, but then, when I saw the message from her, I noticed it and I was just like, nah, and so I kind of like overlooked it or whatever. She was right. I was online, but I wasn't paying much attention to it because I'm like, now I know that if she read my profile, that it says that I'm only interested in women from the United States. And so, and then she ended up messaging me again. And I don't know. I think I woke up and I saw the message and I was just like, let me see what she's talking about, just to not be rude or whatever the case. And so, I did end up talking to her and we had small talk, for the most part. And eventually we ended up sharing information as far as like WhatsApp and Messenger or whatever, and and then we kind of took off, started talking from that point on.
But then, CD, tell me, since we're going so deep and in depth, what made you change your mind though?
About just like being more serious and talking with you and all that kind of stuff. Well, I noticed that she was a prayer warrior. She paid very close attention to basically everything we talked about. When I talked about my family and friends and people I was concerned about and that sort of thing, like she would so WhatsApp, for those who don't know, it has like voice note where you can leave voice notes or whatever the case. Every morning I would wake up to voice notes on my phone of basically her praying for my friends and my family, and that was really spectacular to me because not only is she a Christian woman, but she has a walking, talking relationship with the Lord, and I was really attracted to that. Especially the way she prayed, there was so much passion in the way that she talked to the Lord, and and I knew that there was a commitment, and not just a commitment, but there was a relationship there with the Lord, and that was really important for me to meet someone who actually had their own relationship with the Lord, and so that was one of the biggest things that made me say, and and she prayed for me a lot actually, and that was one of the things that I actually struggle a lot with my walk with God, believe it or not. It's one thing to know the Bible well and that sort of thing, and knowing exactly what to say, but it's a whole other thing with your talk with God, and that's, if I would say, the most essential thing. And and she always challenged me to pray, always, and every time I was going through something, she would challenge me to pray and that sort of thing, and I needed that, and I loved that about her, and I also got to hear her voice. And she has a beautiful, powerful voice, and she loves singing to the Lord, and that was definitely something that really attracted me to her. In fact, we had worship one Friday night, and it was actually me, her, and my cousin, and it was the first time that we had worship together, and
that was, and I got to 2 days before we went.
Before or after?
Before.
It was after. I was gonna say
after.
But anyway, I got to hear her voice, and my cousin heard it too, and we was blown away. And I was like, "Girl, you gonna make me fall in love with you."
I did.
And so,
what was the Holy Spirit?
And so, and from that moment on, we talked a lot more, and and my friends, we started doing like a Friday night Bible study type deal with me and some of my friends, some of her friends, and her family, and and we were able to like kind of just go from there, and get more serious as time progressed and that sort of thing.
Thank you.
What's next?
Okay, what's next? How long did it take you to know that I'm the right person, though?
Well, I mean, it took me to pray. I had to get on my own prayer warrior sense for that, and because a woman is godly, just because a woman is has a nice walk with God, because the women that I talked to before, they were very much so godly women, who who I admired because of their walk with God. It doesn't mean that, somebody's for you though. You know, mean that they're all compatible. It doesn't mean, and I've been through, some of the people that knows me, they know that this is the third time around for me, and marriage is something that I take really, really serious, especially now that, that I'm a Christian. And, I definitely didn't want to strike out again. And so, this was something I really took the prayer on. And, and just our day-to-day conversations and, watching how God worked in her life, even though, pretty much all of our pretty much all of our talks and everything was through video chat. In fact, we video chatted basically basically all of our relationship. Until I came over to Jamaica. This was the first time that I met her. Was when we was going to come and get married. And so, but that's something else we're gonna kind of go into, in another segment, so that you guys will understand more about it. But where was I going? I think I lost my place.
Okay, I'll say something in the meantime till you find your place, Evie. One of the things that I loved and still loves about him, where we started off, he would read me devotions. I've never met someone that read me devotion. Actually, I've spoken with one guy that is supposed to be a Seventh Adventist, but his path, the road that he was taking, was not a biblical one, or more say spiritual. We never prayed together. So for me to be there, it caused me to just question myself. So for me to be in line now in a relationship with someone that reads me devotion, prays me with me, encourages me, it was more like me now, is this for real? Is this guy for real? Or is he just playing with me? That's how I felt at one point. Because I've never been with someone that encourages me, call me diamond in the rough, all those nice things. But that's for a later date, guy. But it has been spectacular.
Yeah, and so try to remember where I left off at from her question. What was your question again?
I don't remember.
Was that from the top of your head?
Probably.
Okay, so we'll have to just go back to that later anyway.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so just getting to know her more, praying, and and just just seeing the genuineness of who she was as a person, and and that sort of thing.
I remember something.
What's that?
But when we started off, we started this relationship on fasting, like 3-day fasting first. Was 3-day?
When we started the relationship, not when we started talking. Yeah.
When we started the relationship.
Before we started the relationship, we both went on a 3-day fast in prayer and that sort of thing. And so prayer was a huge component in us choosing each other too.
Yes.
And so, I mean, for anyone out there, especially if you're Christian, when it comes to choosing your person, man, it's highly important to have a prayer life and a relationship with God together as well as apart. And that was one of the things that I was able to experience with her a lot, and it was a blessing,
It is a blessing.
So we're about a half hour in, and so we're going to stop this one right here, and this will be our first segment. And so these will be directed toward my YouTube channel. It's called Reasoning Together, and it's a YouTube channel that's gonna that it's gonna have all kinds of different facets to it, and so part of my private life is gonna be a portion of my YouTube channel, and so like, share, and subscribe, and and you'll get all the updates that we'll be doing with this. And this segment of my YouTube channel is called 1 + 1 =
2.
1.
I thought it was 2.
Why would it be 2, baby?
Because they're going to say 2.
Yeah, but in the marital sense,
I'm just helping them.
The two come together, and we become one.
Yes, that's why I have you. To correct it to say 1, but others are going to say 2.
Yeah, but Why would you say too? Okay, never mind. So anyway,
it's edit out.
Yeah, we're going to totally edit this out. So so the YouTube, this segment of the YouTube is called 1 + 1 =
1.
And because we believe in when two shall come together in a marital sense, they become one flesh. Amen. And so so that's what this one would be referring to as 1 + 1 = 1, and it's basically just kind of telling you more about us and our relationship and that sort of thing.
And how it started.
But there's the next part to it. How we got to the point where we actually got married, and I know you guys noticed that we have a sense of being, like we knew each other forever. You know what I mean? And honestly, that's how we are, being together day to day, even though it was just video chat. When I met her, it didn't seem any different, you know what I mean? Besides, we were actually in the flesh now, and it was like I knew her.
Oh, besides, I cried. But...
Yeah, she cried. Yeah, she cries a lot though. But but I think that we were spiritually tied to each other before we were ever physically tied or anything else, and I think that was a big component, and emotionally tied, and I think that those were both huge components to basically helping our actual meet together as least awkward as it could have been. I mean, honestly, we hugged for what it seemed like forever when we saw each other. And,
20 to 25 minutes.
I don't know if it was that long, but
it was long.
My cousin was there, and he was like, man.
Can I have a hug, please?
But yeah. But other than that, it seemed like we knew each other forever. Yes. It seemed like, it didn't even feel like that was our first time meeting in person. And so, anyway, till the next time, blessings.
Take care.